What's going on, everybody? Super Saiyan Paul here, back at it again. Today we have another Dragon Ball Super news, information, and discussion video based upon what we've seen in the Dragon Ball Super pamphlets that have been released around the web, and discussing a bit more on what we expect to see in the movie. And some of it is speculation, but some of it has been proven. So before we jump into the movie spoilers, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe, as well as turn on notifications, because we're about to head first and dissect everything that we've had on the table so far. So while we're looking into this, a lot of the things that have been circling the web right now is that, hey, Yamoshi and this movie has a bit of an ice theme, and a lot of things that people kind of correlated this between is that the ice theme that you've seen in the pamphlets, and plus like things that you've seen from the Broly movies, it's almost like they're taking a lot of Broly's features, especially like that of the green aura and the hints that we've seen of him looking almost like Broly in his base form state. Now, mind you, at this point in time when I'm making this video, we have not seen Yamoshi's full body. The very last image that we've seen so far that's been teased is that there's a shadow around the icy area, and one of the theories that's going around right now is that maybe he was frozen in ice and he's going to escape from this, and then all of a sudden he's going to unleash his wrath upon Goku and friends, which we know can't necessarily make too much sense because, one, if he was a Saiyan from a long time ago sent to planet Earth, he could have been extremely weak. Remember, their power levels were super low, and Goku was one of the few that was even lower than that, and that's why Bardock initially abandoned the kid. But if it was the same from the past, he would have been extremely weak, not at the point of where he'd be a challenge to Goku at this point in time, unless Goku somehow lost all of his power and he has to actually resort to fighting with the power pole, which I don't see really necessary to the movie unless they're using it for nostalgia's sakes, because a lot of people do want to see Goku use the power pole, and I don't really care too much for it because it's so old, and from the video games I always correlated that between him and Kid Goku and his movesets and stuff like that, so I don't really want to see it, but it is iconic, and them having to remove it from what connected Korin's tower to Kami's lookout would have been cool. But this can't necessarily be an old Saiyan. It doesn't make sense for that to happen with his power level unless it's an ancient Saiyan and it's something like not connected to like when Frieza's reign was around, but something even before then, and him either being from a universe that was resurrected or even planet Sadala. We know it's possible to travel between universes, so maybe this was one Saiyan from a long time ago, or even like right before Frieza destroyed the planets, if anything, that escaped and managed to build his power from then. And I wouldn't say that the theory where this guy was frozen in time on planet Earth would make too much sense. One, because the planet's been destroyed multiple times, and especially if you look back in the day with when Kid Buu destroyed the planet and then everyone got resurrected afterwards, he wouldn't necessarily be frozen. Do you guys think that wouldn't make too much sense for him to still be frozen? And it just doesn't fit too well. I don't think that's necessarily the best idea for them to throw into the story. They're not going to make it super complex, but I don't think they're going to make it that weird where it's like they're trying to make it complex and at the same time make some plot holes and weird things at the same time. I think they want to make it simple but make sense, and that's usually the formula Dragon Ball's always stuck with because it's easier to carry the content on forward. Now, diving onto what we think that could be possibly used into the movie here is that, one, this Saiyan has to be stronger than Jiren. In my opinion, he has to be stronger than Jiren, because if they don't necessarily bring this new level of power, they underestimate this villain, and they're underutilizing the hype between this little hiatus that they have with super content in the movie and them having everyone to jump into the movie theaters to go watch this. I think if it's going to have movie quality animation and it's going to be somebody following the Tournament of Power in the sequential timeline, because that's where it's going to be. This is taking place after the events of the Tournament of Power. Goku is going to have to be pushed to the limit, either to Ultra Instinct, or we're going to see this guy really tear him down. He has to be Jiren level. If he's below that, it takes away the hype of the villain, who is a Saiyan after so long. So it's gonna be crazy sales for this guy. Like, I think right now at this point in time, I want an action figure of this guy, and I don't even know what he looks like. They have so much potential with this and marketability for this character just because of the fact that he's a Saiyan, that I don't want them to really mess this up. And what they have to do is make him super strong, Jiren level or above, have Goku go Ultra Instinct, or if they want to sustain that power for something else, or like limit like the hype behind that, because if they overutilize Ultra Instinct to the point where it's just used too much, it's no longer that much of a form anymore. It's like the power level of gods, and you're taking it and kind of numbing it down, similar to what they did with the Super Saiyan transformation and Super Saiyan Blue transformation. Super Saiyan Blue was used in over 100 episodes plus the movie, and it started to feel like it got weaker and weaker. That's why they kind of added Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, because it just gets old after a while. You get fatigued from looking at the form, and the scaling of power never feels like it's moving in a really satisfying direction. Because look back at the original Super Saiyan days, they made Super Saiyan a child's plaything. Now, if they did it to something like they did here with Ultra Instinct, which they're kind of admitting is a mistake here, because now either you use it in the movie, which is right after the Tournament of Power, which kind of seems soon, especially after the ending of Dragon Ball Super, where Goku was like, I can't use Ultra Instinct anymore, and therefore he kind of nerfed the ability to save it for later on. It doesn't make sense to use it right away, but at the same time, if you don't use it right away, this villain's not as big of a threat as Jiren, and that takes away from this guy who has so much more room for character development, so much more mystery behind his origins and stuff like that. One of the things that people loved about Goku Black was during that arc, when we knew absolutely nothing, the speculation and theories behind him, and trying to figure out who this guy is, where he came from, why is he running around in Goku's body, and exactly where did this all like originate from, and what's the motive. We didn't really get that much from Jiren because he was shoehorned into this Tournament of Power, where everything kind of seemed one-directional, and he didn't need that from this character, which in the end really took away from him. Here, I want to see this villain's motive. He's a Saiyan. Where was he the entire time? All of these good things. And then on top of that, how far are you going to push the heroes? Especially Goku with Ultra Instinct. And you can't really rule Vegeta out of the question for Ultra Instinct, because one, he went to go train with Whis first. Two, he ascended into Super Saiyan Blue without even using the ritual. And time again, he just gets power buff after power buff just to stay on the same playing field as Goku. Mind you, Goku usually by the end of the episode will surpass Vegeta yet again, but you can't just leave Vegeta set in stone. He's still training, and he's even said that yet again, similar to what he did in Battle of Gods, saying that he's going to look for a form above and beyond that of Ultra Instinct. Remember, this is a man of his word. He actually was able to do it in the original Battle of Gods movie into Super Saiyan Blue without the ritual, so I wouldn't put it past Vegeta to not get it. And on top of that, with his past and his training ethic, it's not gonna be too far off. I felt like during the Tournament of Power, there were some moments where it seemed as though he was literally about to tap into it, but he just wasn't there yet, and it was Goku's time to shine. A lot of us felt like even before they revealed that Goku was going to get the Ultra Instinct in the mastered state by himself, and Vegeta wasn't going to get anything, that Vegeta was going to be the key candidate to get the attack form of it, if that was the case, because everything filled him and his requirements more than anyone else. And if this is a movie about the origins of Saiyans and this new Saiyan, and all about like the Saiyan type of pride and warrior-esque type of stuff, it makes sense for Vegeta to tap into it here now. This way, you don't fatigue the form with Goku, and you can save him for using it later on. You make the villain kind of hype worthy because he pushed one of them into Ultra Instinct yet again. This adds a new character in the Ultra Instinct state who does deserve it, because he's been fighting on the power level of gods for so long, took down a god of destruction level Topo in the Tournament of Power, and more than anyone else has constantly been training and trying to ascend past Goku, and got the maxed out Super Saiyan Blue evolution, which is stronger than Kaioken at this point in time, just barely, but it's still there. It still fits Vegeta to get it, and it makes sense for the story. So Yamoshi pushing one of these warriors, one of the two, into Ultra Instinct should be a must. Tell me if you guys think that in the comment section below. Not only that, if it is, I mean, we're only calling him codename Yamoshi. We don't know the Saiyan's name. It hasn't been revealed officially yet, and the art hasn't been officially revealed yet. But for it to be something that takes place after the Tournament of Power, he has to be up to speed. I don't see them using Super Saiyan Blue for too much longer, because if they do, it's over 100 episodes, a movie, and on top of that, you're going to continue into like the next half of the series. I don't think that gels well with the audience, especially like me. I'm fatigued with that form, and they know this. That's why they added the spins on the form. Vegeta getting Ultra Instinct will carry the story forward, carry the hype forward, without taking away from the form, because he is overdue for this transformation, and it seems as though it's just right for him, because he trained with we spotted his flaws and everything that he had to fix. He's been advised about it. He's been hit near death bunches of times, and if he was to do it yet again, I wouldn't be surprised if he got this transformation. Remember, Resurrection F, he, Frieza, and Goku all got transformations in that movie, and it was a multi-transformation type of thing. So for him to just go out on a limb and get this one, it's not too far-fetched. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe for more. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Take care.